It's going to lead to something else.
And then because then it leads to a lot of disappointment and frustration, and it brings up everything again.
Yeah.
So how do you satisfy yourself as a guy, Todd?
Pretty much down.
Yeah? Self-satisfaction? Do you have to self-satisfy?
Yeah, sometimes, but you know, you go through a process of you accept your situation, and I think you train your brain to become more or less sexual. You know, and people are sexual to begin with.
Yeah,
but
there's a switch that you can cut off.
I think there's a switch. Yeah, exactly. You kind of train yourself like sex is not a part of your life, and you know, it's been 6.5 years, so you go through 6.5 years of doing that, then it doesn't become really a part of your life anymore.
Kelsey, do you think that there's any other type of reason that you are not able to have sex? Did you go into your past? Have you
I did.
really tried to,
I did.
Do you think it's
went
emotional
back,
for you?
and a lot of it is emotional.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely a mind-body connection, and you know, right after, you know, I had my period when I was a teenager, my mom told me about sex.
What did your mom say?
She said that sex was the worst pain that I will ever feel. She said that it was really, really painful, that it will always be really painful, that it's horrible, that she can't even explain the type of pain that it is,
Really?
that I would have to do it even if I didn't want to. Because I said, if it's that painful, well, then I just won't do it. And she said, no, you have to, because once you're married, your husband owns you. And when he says...
Owns you?
Yeah. And when he says that you have to have sex, you have to have sex.
And then you said, but Mommy, when I watch TV...
Exactly, because, you know, I was like, but we watch all my children, you know? And I was like...
They're doing it all the time.
Yeah, I was like, but that doesn't make sense, because the women in TV, if it was really that painful, why do they always want it? And she said two things. She said, well, men are the ones that write that, okay? And so it's not true, it's not women. And the women that enjoy it are tramps.
We'll be right back.
Coming up, they endured a sexless 5-year marriage until...
I made the decision to have 40 injections of Botox intravaginally.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I'm with Kelsey and Todd, and they've been married for almost 7 years, but they have only had sex one time. And believe it or not, that one time led to something. What did that one time of you having sex, what did that lead to?
The best thing that ever happened to us, our miracle baby.
Wow. So you're one of those rare women that your virginity getting removed, I'm not going to say not taken, but losing your virginity meant gaining a baby. Okay, so I have to ask you, baby's growing inside of you, then you have the baby.
Not that way.
Oh, you didn't have
this
it.
way.
Oh, so you had a cesarean.
I was in labor for so long. I actually wanted a vaginal birth. I figured maybe that would help.
Yeah.
But I was in labor for so long that they had to do a C-section.
Oh, they had to do a C-section. So, okay, only had sex once, had the baby, no sex anymore. Because the doctor says you can't have sex for 6 weeks. You're like, okay, we'll take 6 years. What about that?
I mean, and the thing was, we kept trying. Like, we didn't want to give up. It was, again, the pillows and all the stuff. And
so what about tampons for you? Oh, your face, no? No.
I can't even see a box.
A box of tampons. So if you're at my house and I'm like, hey, girl, can you get my tampons down there?
I need a bag to breathe in.
Really?
Yeah.
What about a commercial? The girl running through the woods.
She could keep running through the woods.
And so even the commercial makes you feel, I can tell even now physically, even thinking about that.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't.
Wow.
We're not going there.
Okay, we're not going there about tampons. So tell me about the one time you guys did have sex. Because you had a baby.
Yeah.
So tell me about this one time that you had it.
We had moved to Los Angeles. We were from New York. Moved to Los Angeles, came back to visit family, and we were staying at my in-laws' house. And I got sick. I had a double pneumonia, whatever. I don't think that I knew at the time that's what I had, but I was medicated, and I was kind of out of it when you're really sick, and I didn't know what was going on. And we weren't planning to. It was just Todd started kissing me because he kind of felt bad for me, like, oh, poor baby. You came back, you can't even enjoy it because you're so sick. The next thing I knew, I guess we were having sex, and I remember, like, I was out of it, but I remember kind of going, babe, are we having sex? And I just heard, like, heavy panting, a lot of it. and then I was like, and I remember having a smile on my face, like, oh my God, we're having sex. But I don't remember anything else.
Because you were like so sick and on meds and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't remember anything else. And then when I woke up, I was like, babe, did we have sex? So he goes, yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness, God answered our prayers. God answered our prayers. We're cured. We did it. We did it. I knew it.
And then you tried
And then
again after
we tried
the
again.
baby.
Well, I was sick, you know, so we went back home. And then we tried it, and then it was the same thing. It was
Back to
it.
the normal.
It was. I can't even describe
Yeah.
the pain.
Okay, Todd, let's go back to that, the night, that one night that you had sex. Did you know that she was kind of like half there and half not? And
I don't really think so. I mean, we were both kind of, it was a long flight, you know, from Los Angeles. We had a long meeting with all of our families and stuff like that. I think we were both kind of out of it, and, you know, I think we were both kind of
And
just.
it just kinda
But no,
happens.
I didn't realize that she
Yeah.
was
More out of it than
more
right,
out of it.
yeah.
were you having pleasure?
Yeah,
when you-
sure.
Yeah? Yeah. When she's sick now, do you ever go, baby, you got the flu, you gotta call?
You know what? She is one of the healthiest people around. She hardly ever gets sick.
You need to walk around New York City without your jacket,
I know.
without your sweater.
Sick people need to breathe on me.
Yeah. Have you ever told anybody that you've only had sex with your wife once, Todd?
No. I
No.
haven't, no.
How do you
Well,
feel
I
about
mean,
everybody knowing
my
now?
parents, our close family members, no.
Okay.
But as far as like friends and people outside of our immediate family, no.
This is the first time they're hearing about it. All right. So, Dr. Debbie, I have to ask you that Kelsey said that her mother said these things to her, that it's awful, it's the most painful thing in the world, a man owns you. What do you, is it, you think hers is mostly emotional?
You know, it's impossible to make a judgment call like that. There's no doubt that it is hard to hear all of those messages, to have those experiences, and not to take them to heart, right? Especially if, you know, even the sight of tampons or a commercial is too much to bear. And so, you know, while you certainly don't have to choose to have sex or try to have sex, if you want to, I think one of the more important components would be meeting with a therapist who can help you deal with these issues around the body, around the vagina, around sexuality, at a pace that feels right.
Have you ever gone to the doctor now to find out what
I
is
did. I
wrong?
actually, I had tried before. We've been trying for years because we knew that it wasn't normal. And in the beginning, I was made to feel as though it was in my head. You know, and he actually was the one that diagnosed me. He went on the internet and he kept checking because he said, we have to find out what you have. You know, it's not normal. And then finally, we moved back to the East Coast, and the one doctor actually only diagnosed me 6 months ago. And he
6
diagnosed
months?
me with the worst case of vaginismus, the worst level of vaginismus.
What is it called?
Vaginismus.
Vaginismus? And he said it's the worst he's ever seen.
No, it's just the worst level. There are different
Oh,
levels.
worst levels.
Yeah, there's like a
Okay.
level 1 through 4, and I'm 4.
Okay. Okay, and is any of it emotional? Or it's a combination?
Yes, it definitely is. There's definitely.
And when you
heavy.
say that you feel a wall, is there a physical wall that you have below?
No, there isn't. There isn't anything wrong physically
God.
in the
Okay.
vaginal area down there.
Just that her muscles down there go into a spasm.
They go into a spasm. Wow. Okay. And I know a muscle spasm in my back is painful, so I can only imagine a muscle spasm in my genital area.
Especially after you waited for so long, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah, you don't even
and
know.
then,
Okay, we'll be right back. I've been talking with couples that have been married for years and years, and they have never had sex. Now, Rachel and David weren't able to have sex for the first 4.5 years of their marriage, and the stress in their relationship finally drove them to a very drastic treatment. So, Rachel, tell me what you did.
Yes, I made the decision to have 40 injections of Botox intravaginally under sedation.
Really?
Yes.
40
40.
Botoxes.
It was 100 cc's of Botox that was diluted with a saline solution.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Botox that women put in their faces.
The Botox you put in your face for wrinkles.
You put it down there.
I put it down there, yes.
Okay. So when women put the Botox in their face, they go from to.
That's pretty much what happened.
Down there.
Down there too.
Down
Yes.
there too.
Yes.
Really?
Really.
So were you Wrinkly? Like, what? Wait. I'm confused.
Quite the opposite, actually.
Quite the opposite.
Well,
Two-
as very strong
Okay.
spasms, intense spasms, involuntary spasms, much like you blink your eye.
Yes.
It's a spasm that you can't control, and like we heard before, it's just like you're hitting a wall.
Hitting a wall.
Yes.
You said you were under sedation. Did they
I
put you to
was-
sleep?
They did.
Wow.
They started